Good evening, everybody. This is the Market Truth. This is a commodity review for January 30th. I just want to highlight some of the things we talked about over the past week. Some trades that actually worked out really well. First of all, we finally caught that low in silver and gold. I want to highlight those levels. All these levels were given to you over the last couple of weeks, particularly on these quarterly levels. When we get really deep corrections, we look for those quarterly levels to hold. The upper right hand corner, this is in the SLV, the Silver Trust. You'll notice that that quarterly level that we wanted to watch was 26.14. That's pretty much what we traded down to, 26.03. This lower left hand panel, that's the weekly. So we had a unique situation here where we actually traded down and bounced off of the weekly low volatility level and the quarterly. It was justifiably, if one is a metals trader and they want to have exposure to metals, and they got out of this trade on the monthly sell signals, that this would be a great area to probably to try to nibble and get long again. But the real key here was for those who are short this move on the downside in gold and silver, that quarterly level is a great area to cover your short position. And GLD, the same thing. The GLD was a little bit weaker than gold or weaker than silver. You can see that we did penetrate it. We need 3 full trading days below that 129 level to actually confirm a sell signal. We didn't get it. We traded down there one day and then we immediately bounced back up. But you will notice on the weekly, we actually did convincingly trade through that weekly level. So gold was not as it's definitely not as bullish as silver was. Whether or not this was attributable to the news in Egypt or whether this was just possibly a short-term bottom, we'll know more next week. We'll get new weekly levels on Monday and new monthly levels on Tuesday. If we make another weekly low volatility, if we take out that low, then I would be bearish on these metals again. Let's also take a look at the euro. I talked about this trade. Again, the euro trade on the quarterly was really setting up nicely. These are the euro futures. We talked about how the quarterly picked the top back in November. It also successfully picked the bottom here that when we traded down to 128 on the 7th of January. And I did mention that if you did have a bearish view on the euro, that this would be a good area to try to start building a short position. And we did trade again. We need 3 full trading days above 137 to confirm a buy signal. We never got that. We kind of nibbled above there one day, and then we rolled over on Friday. So whether or not, again, this is for somebody who wanted exposure to the euro, that was the opportune time. Those quarterly levels have really been holding up well. Obviously, here's the weekly. We put in a weekly sell signal up around 137.53. So that gave you a little more confidence to take that trade. Let's also look at corn. I'm going to show you just corn and wheat real quick. Again, we talked about how the commodities rallied pretty strongly. We got this move in corn. Once again, that perfect target on the quarterly, 670. We traded up to 667, close enough. How far could this pull back? Well, we're going to be looking at the weekly and the monthly levels next week. The old monthly level in corn was 596, but that'll be invalid starting on Tuesday. So we'll be getting new monthly levels on Tuesday, and we'll get new weekly levels on Monday. Let's take a look at wheat. Same story there. Again, these quarterly levels are really, really good. At least, you definitely do not want to, if you're long these products, no matter how bullish you are, when you get to that quarterly level, the best thing I can tell you is to get out of your long positions and wait for a buy signal on either a monthly or weekly. The upper left-hand corner, this is your monthly. So if I got out of this trade, I would be looking to get back in on a monthly confirmation next week or even a weekly. The weekly will get you in faster. So we'll get new weeklies on Monday, new monthlies on Tuesday. But again, we got you out of wheat pretty much on the high tick, got you out of corn on the high tick, the euro on the high tick, gold and silver almost pretty much on the low tick. So these are the levels. We'll update you on the weekly levels. On Monday, we'll give you the new monthly levels Tuesday night. And a lot of stuff's going on in the market. So we're going to get a lot of volatility next week. So that's it for the commodity review, and good luck trading this week.